The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Schaap. You may know me from ESPN's Outside the Lines and Sports Center. What you probably don't know is that I've suffered from Crohn's disease for almost 20 years. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America's Take Steps, Be Heard walk program is the largest national walk program dedicated to raising funds and awareness to combat Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. To learn more about how you can help and to find a walk site near you, please visit www.cctakesteps.org.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire is Rod Eccles.
And welcome, everyone. Good morning. Yes, it is I, your lovable host, Elrod, coming to you live this Friday morning. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Yes, indeed, it is Freedom Friday. We, every week at this day, on this day, I should say, we celebrate the weekend and our freedom, sliding into the weekend and celebrating our freedom, our growing amount of freedom, with just about anything goes Friday theme. We call it Freedom Friday. And you can get in on the action by calling 603-835-3226. Talk about anything you want, just about anything you want. Keep it clean, please. I mean, it could be pop culture, science, it could be just about anything. You know, it doesn't even have to interest me, really. You can even suggest topics by heading to some of my social media, like on Twitter or Facebook or WeMe, or is it MeWe? I always get it backwards, MeWe. Or Gab.ai. Even LinkedIn. It's a little difficult to suggest something over on Pinterest or LinkedIn, because I don't really pay attention to LinkedIn during the program. Or Google+. A couple of Google+ pages out there. One of them is getting a lot of attention, though. But in any case, or you can head over to rodeccles.net. You can also email me, rod@rodeccles.net. That's a good way to get a hold of me during the program as well. In any case, glad you are here this May number 5 in the year of our Lord 2017. You know what today is, don't you? Today is Cinco de Mayo, and whatever happened to that? I had a file of music of not Spanish music, but Mexican music to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Now you got to understand, Cinco de Mayo is a holiday that really isn't a holiday. I mean, it's a holiday here in the U.S. of A. simply because we decide to make it a drinking day. Yeah, pretty much. That's what usually happens on Cinco de Mayo. But in any case, the other holidays for today, the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, of course, everyone should know. Cartoonist Day. Yes, today is Cartoonist Day. Do you want to know what Cartoonist Day is? Well, Cartoonist Day is celebrated today. don't know any more than what that is. It's celebrating cartoonists, I guess. So if you are a cartoonist, you have your own special day. Today is also International Midwives Day. Today is also International Space Day. Wasn't that yesterday? International Space Day? I guess, well, I guess, you know, it's because space is so big it could have 2 days. International Tuba Day. Do people still play the tuba outside of college band? I don't see the tuba anywhere other than college bands. But you know, I never played the tuba. I never tried learning how to play the tuba. Never really wanted to learn how to play the tuba. Tuba is not one of my favorite wind instruments, by the way. But if you play the tuba, I have nothing against tuba players or the tuba itself. I am not a tuba racist. I'm not bigoted against tubas. Just it's a limited. It's not a very versatile instrument, in my opinion. I mean, then again, I'm not a musician, so what the hell do I know? Today is also National Hoagie Day. That goes well with beer, which is what people use to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. So is it a coinkydink that Cinco de Mayo and National Hoagie Day are on the same day? I don't think so. It's a conspiracy, I tell you, a conspiracy. It is also National Chocolate Custard Day. Really? Okay. You like chocolate? I mean, well, custard is soft. That soft ice cream that you get, you know, at the ice cream stand every summer. But for much of the country, it's too damn early for people to be. I mean, a lot of the ice cream joints are not open yet. Well, it's now May. They may be open, but it's a little early in the season for ice cream outdoors, I would think. Still a little too. It's not hot enough yet. Today is also Museum Lovers Day. Yes, it's museum. So if you love to go to the museum, this is your day. Now, I do understand that there, depending on where you are, there are a number of museums, big and small, famous and infamous, and nobody's ever heard of them before, that are offering either freebies or huge discounts off their regular admission today. So if you know, especially if you're in New York City, check around. There may, you know, New York City has got a ton of museums. Boston does too. I've never been to L.A., so I wouldn't know about L.A. or places like Chicago has quite a few museums. There's also something about, because of Museum Day, there's also, you probably heard the announcement yesterday of Barack Obama's presidential library design being talked about. We may get to talking about that later today. So it is Museum Lovers Day today, as well as it's something that they've observed in Boston and New York in the past, much to the dismay of other passengers on subway systems and public transportation systems. It is No Pants Day. Now, normally you would think, well, okay, so you don't wear pants, you wear shorts, or maybe you wear dresses and skirts, but guys don't wear skirts, they wear kilts. It's not a skirt, it's a kilt. Well, a kilt is not pants, and a kilt is definitely not a skirt. And I think there's a company is it in Dublin, New Hampshire, or Jaffrey, New Hampshire? I think somewhere around the south central New Hampshire. Well, it's a border town with Massachusetts. Somewhere around there, I think, there's a company that actually makes kilts. You know, they have a Scottish Highland Days. I'm not sure when that is. I always miss it every year because I want to go to them. You know, the Scottish... They do the caper toss and the hammer throw and all the other wonderful Scottish traditional sports. And it's over. I think is it in Jaffrey that they hold? Somewhere over there, in the Monadnock region. And I live here, right, in the state. I should know more about the stuff that we do. But, there's a lot happening here in New Hampshire, by the way. Not a very big state land-wise or population-wise, but we got a hell of a lot going on, so it's hard to keep track of everything. But today is No Pants Day, and I don't want to keep track of that. And I hope to God that there is nobody out there now keep your pants on. If you don't have pants on, make sure you have some sort of covering on your lower extremities. We don't need to see your underwear or less. No, in public. Not interested. Sorry. Today is also Provider Appreciation Day. It's also known as Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. So if you send off, the little ones to a daycare center, send them off with a card to your child care provider, the person who's watching over the little ones while you're at work trying to earn a living. Today is also, yesterday we had May the 4th be with you with May the 4th. Today we have Revenge of the 5th. As in Revenge of the Sith. Today is You can't make this stuff up. It is I don't know when they started Revenge of the Fifth. I'm sure right as soon as they came out with the movie Revenge of the Sith, they started a day for it. So today is Revenge of the. I'm sorry, this stuff is ridiculous. All these wonderful days. We should do this every day. This will be a part of this is going to become a part of the permaculture of the Rod Eccles Show, reviewing the specialty holidays of the day. This is insane. Revenge of the 5th. It is also Oyster Day. I don't eat oysters. I don't eat clams anymore either. I used to like clams. I've never been an oyster fan. And I've never eaten that crap raw. I'm not a merman or a mermaid. I don't eat that stuff raw. Ugh. It's like raw fish, sushi. You know what? God invented fire for a reason. Because it works and makes food not as gross. And it makes it tastier. If you want to be an animal and eat raw meat, go right ahead. But I can't get over why people would do that. This day in history on May 5th, in 1980, the British Special Air Services, the SAS, terminate the Iranian embassy siege in London. So, this is going back to 1980. For those of you who say that we can get along with, we haven't been getting along with the Iran, since 78, 79. 6 gunmen held 26 people hostage for 6 days, demanding the release of Iranian Arab prisoners. 2 of the hostages were killed, however, on that raid. In 1955, West Germany regains full sovereignty after World War II. The Federal Republic of Germany had been established in 1949. Its provisional capital was Bonn. After the 1990 reunification of East and West Germany, Berlin was declared the country's capital once again. Nearly 50. See how long it takes to rebuild after? The war ended in 44, 45, basically 10 years, whole decade. So reconstruction can take some time, folks. So it is not out of the question being, us having been in places like Iraq or Afghanistan for 10 or 15 years after hostilities ceased, but hostilities never really did cease. In 1949, the Council of Europe is founded. The organization was the first to work for European integration. It has 47 member countries and is completely a separate entity from the European Union. So they've been at this since 1949. And it's not the EU, but it's something. Why do you have multiple agencies doing this exact same thing in Europe? I don't know. And in 1934, the first Three Stooges film was released. And in 1904, Cy Young pitches the first perfect game in modern Major League Baseball. A game is considered perfect when none of the opposing players reaches the first base. Young's team, Cy Young's team, the Boston Americans, won 3-0 over the Philadelphia Athletics. Yes, there you have it. All that stuff is happening today, or happened today. And those are all the wonderful holidays that you can choose to celebrate today. And you got to celebrate them today because tomorrow there'll be a whole new batch. Just saying.
You're listening to me, your lovable host, Rod, here on the Rod Eccles Show.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
And now a message from our sponsor. Ladies, tired of drying your hair with the same old vacuum cleaner? Try Avon Shade brand new Beauty Locks portable hair dryer. It's smaller, it's faster, it's guaranteed to give you the hair you've always wanted in half the time. Beauty Locks is delicate and dainty, just like you. The dryer weighs only a pound and easily fits in your hand. Now that's beauty and convenience. With a speedy motor that will dry your hair in as little as 25 minutes, you can get gorgeous hair without falling behind schedule. Don't worry about the little ones or that pie in the oven. Thanks to an extra-long extension cord, you can move around while primping your locks. Forget those long trips to the salon and no more waiting for hours under monster machines. Avon Shade gives you an easy and speedy hairdo that will blow your man away. Get it now at your nearest Macy's.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show. Let truth be told.
(603-835-3226). Should you wish to utilize that number to call the program this morning and get on the air with yours truly and discuss just about anything you want to discuss or talk about this morning. Some other things that have happened in the historical past, as opposed to non-historical past. Interesting that today, May 5th, is the birthday of Karl Marx. Yes, he was born in 1818. And on this day in 1821, we saw the death of one of the many original Napoleons. Has there been any historical political figure that has been imitated more than Napoleon? I mean, a lot of crazy people once thought that they were Napoleon. But I am Napoleon! Why Napoleon of all people? You know, there are people, well, they call it a Napoleon complex. I'm not exactly sure what that is because based on whoever has it, it manifests itself in different ways. But, you know, I guess political leaders have been often compared to Napoleon as being not so crazy. And we got people out there who are trying to say that Trump has got a mental illness and he's a little crazy. Well, if he's crazy, like I said, Trump is crazy and dumb like a fox. We'll get into that. Yeah, I know people probably want to talk about the win in the House for the Obamacare repeal. I'm not thrilled with it, but I'll you know what? I'll take it for now. But it's not over yet. I mean, we still got to get it through the Senate. And if you thought that it was tough trying to even get the damn thing started and get it through the House, you ain't seen nothing yet in the Senate, as far as they're concerned. However, getting on to the lighter side of stupid, which is really not all that light. Texas, Dateline, Texas. Rachel Malonson, Malonson, was crowned Miss Black University of Texas over the weekend, last Sunday to be exact. However, people took to Twitter to point out judges chose the lightest-skinned contestant to be the winner. And this is coming out of the dailymail.co.uk. Now, she has a black dad and a white mom. So she's of mixed ethnic background. And said people often think she is Hispanic. I understand that. Hell, I get that sometimes. I get that a lot around here. People think I'm Puerto Rican or Dominican. And they get incensed when I don't know how to speak Spanish. I've had people, chastise me about it. What, you don't speak your own home language, man? What's wrong with you, man? You don't like Spanish? No, I don't. Hey, I'm not Spanish or Latino, so no, I don't know Spanish. But I understand why people might get confused. Malonson also said she was taken aback by the criticism, but thanked those who supported her. Now, she's a pretty girl. But look, I can't believe that people would be upset that this woman, who's at least half black, well, she does have she's got a tan complexion. She's lighter than most African Americans. She's lighter than Obama, who also happens to have a black daddy and a white mommy. Look, they had a white black person that was the head of an NAACP chapter. Anybody remember Rachel Dolezal? She was over in South Africa a couple of weeks ago, promoting her stupid new books in South, how she identifies with black. I wonder if she actually got out of there alive. I don't think they're going to put up with that kind of crap. But anyway, here we have, she's crowned Miss Black University of Texas, but she doesn't look really traditionally African American. I don't have an issue with it. Look, I grew up with kids and people that were half black, half white. There's a lot of them out there. And, some of them are, well, I shouldn't say beautiful for guys, but a lot of them, they're beautiful. Well, looking wise, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous human beings, but not necessarily their personalities. But yeah, there's. This is why we need to get rid of these ethnic identity politics type of stuff. We can't have a Miss Black this and a Miss Black that and a Latino awards here and a Latino award. It's ridiculous. Because what are we going to start having? We're going to start having mulatto competitions now, or biracial competitions. I mean, this is getting. We have moved. I thought we've moved past this stuff that is called racial identity in politics. Evidently not. Thanks, Black Lives Matter.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
So I guess you cannot be any ways not African American in order to win a Black Beauty contest, but you can be non-black. And well, what are we going to have? Why don't we have these trans black contests at beauty contests? Then, I mean, look, there are obviously some people that are not black that identify with being black. Hey, there are some non-white people that identify with being white. Now, mostly that is Asians. Believe it or not, I have no idea why this. But there are certain Asian cultures, especially South Korean, that are just in love with Caucasians. You'll find if you go to some of these dating sites, you'll find that some of these Asians, they only want to date white people. They are not that just goes to the point where you have some white people that only want to date Asians. They call them rice queens or rice kings if they only want to date Asian people. Depending if you're a woman and you only want to date Asian men, you're known as a rice queen. If you are a man and only want to date Asian women, then you're known as a rice king. I guess it's the same way if you're a homosexual too. I don't know, but yeah. So, everybody has their preference, and there's nothing wrong with having a preference as far as what you find, what ethnic background that you find beautiful or attractive to you. What is wrong with people is identifying with something other than who you really are. And it has nothing really to do with just, your so-called ethnic background or your race. I mean, it's just stupidity. Why can't we just enjoy who we are? I mean, if your mom are we really going to try to break us down into smaller and smaller groups? Well, if you're a liberal Democrat, yes. But are we? So this woman in Texas, because her mom's white, making her half white, because her daddy's black, but her mom is white, so she's not really black. Well, then what was the argument over Tiger Woods? Anybody remember the brouhaha over Tiger Woods? Black people saying, "Oh, Tiger's black, man. He's African." No, he's half Asian. This is Tiger's. Was she Filipino or was she Japanese? Well, I mean, the Filipino people, they're mixed up too. They're kind of like blacks in this country. They're kind of like Latinos. Yeah. No, I know I'm about to step in it, but see, this is how stupid all of these racial identity politics is. Now, what is Latino? A lot of people would say Spanish. Well, they'd be wrong. There is some Spanish heritage there, yes, because of Spain invading much of South and Central America and left an indelible mark. But what is Latino? Well, Latino is actually a mix of the indigenous populations of those particular countries and the Spaniard. So if you got a Latino standing next to a real Spaniard, well, the Spaniard looks awfully damn pale. Right? So they're not. So you could, I guess you could say that that they're half Spanish. But see, a lot of American blacks are the same way. They're not purely African. You put an American black, an African American next to an African, a black African, they don't look alike. They don't look any more alike than Latinos look like Spaniards. Because there's a lot of mixing going on over the past few centuries. So you could say that there's a whole new racial type. So are we going to have now these specialty types of beauty contests, and are we going to is the list on the government application going to have to extend? Because I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of mixing going on right now, and it's confusing the hell out of a lot of people because they don't know how to pigeonhole other people, and half the time they get the pigeonholing wrong. Oh, well, you got to be Latino. No, I'm not Latino. Sorry. And this poor woman, beautiful lady, she's not Latino either. It doesn't matter if she looks it. That doesn't matter. It is at the point now that America is so racist that mixed race children are now registering as whole percentage points. We're not talking 0.05% of the population. We're talking whole percentage points, and it's growing. The number of mixed race couples in this country has skyrocketed over the past 20 years. You still want to tell me that we're a racist nation? Only by people who want to play identity politics. And that's coming mostly from the people on the left. Now, personally, I'm an equal opportunity lover and hater. I don't really hate anybody. Well, there's a few people I guess I could say I hate. Hate's a strong word. My mother always told me that. Never use the word hate. You strongly dislike somebody because hate's a strong word. You never want to hate anybody. My mother, bless her heart. And her heart's still beating, thank God. But, these people that play identity politics, they just want to keep this stuff around because they're making money off of it, by the way. Just so you know. Al Sharpton, come on. The incredible shrinking bobblehead man. Now, I don't like to pick on people, but, there was a reason Al Sharpton was fat in his younger days. He was hefty. Not going to deny it. And the reason is because he's got a little body and he's got a damn big head. And now that he's lost weight for health reasons, I'm pretty sure, because you can't carry that kind of weight on you forever, especially as you get older, because there are all kinds of health problems, including diabetes, that can come along if you don't lose the weight. So he lost the weight, but his head didn't shrink with his body. He looks. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. And I don't. This whole identity politics thing. It's stupid. It's redonkulous. It needs to go away. But it's never going to go away so long as we have liberal Democrats out there perpetuating this stuff and trying to make special classes out of people who really don't want to be considered to be special in that way. Now, if I was this. I don't understand how, on one hand, you can say that somebody like Tiger Woods is black, African American, when he's half Asian, but this woman, I guess if you're half white, that's the problem. But wait, Obama's half white, and he was president. Oh yeah, but he's African American. Why? Because he was married to an African American woman, Michelle Mybell, I guess. I don't. But hey. Barack didn't always like black people or black women. Well, he had love affairs and crushes on white women, Latino women evidently, and white men. And then Michelle, and he even cheated on before they were married, I guess, and before they were seriously dating. I mean, there's a book coming out that details that Obama cheated on Michelle Robinson, then with some white chick. I don't know. Why not? He's half white. He can do that, right? Shouldn't he be able to get away with it? I suppose. No, he shouldn't. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just such. It's not an issue at all. It should not be an issue. And I really sometimes I hate talking about it simply because I know, and people look at, well, Rod, your own moniker. I know I'm the coolest, most politically incorrect conservative black man on the planet. And the only reason I have stuck with that is simply because it jabs liberals hard, especially white liberals. You're a black conservative? Yeah, because it's poking them. But yeah, hey, but I'm considered to be a black guy when they want me to be black. Not when blacks want me to be black, but when white people want me, liberal whites want me to be black. Well, you're a black guy. Well, I'm also Cherokee. Well, no, you're black. No, I'm also Cherokee. You realize that there is a program that used to be in Boston called the Tom Leykis Show, and before he moved out to L.A., he was stationed at WRKO in Boston. As before he syndicated and moved out to L.A., and I got through on a call, and there was a woman that was on the Tom Leykis radio program. And Tom Leykis actually had the time slot that I now fill. Well, I'm not on WRKO, but he had the 9 a.m. to noon time slot. And I remember I used to listen to him. And this one day, he had this black social worker on there who was against white people adopting black children. She was a social worker. Now here we have all of these kids who are not babies who are stuck in foster care, and in some cases, you have black kids that are between the impossible age is a teenager. It's very difficult for somebody who is 14 to 18 to get adopted. Well, 14, 15, 16, 17 to get adopted. They almost never are. The next toughest age group is between the age, I guess, of 7 and 12. It's easier to adopt somebody, I guess, for parents to get potential parents to get closer to somebody who's under the age of 7. But 7 to 12 is difficult. And the problem is that there are a lot of kids in that 7 to 12 year old slot. And there are a lot of black kids, at least back at this time, there were a lot of black kids that were being stuck because there weren't enough, quote unquote, qualified black adoptive parents for them. Okay, so white people were stepping up and wanting to adopt black children. Well, this woman was vehemently against white people adopting black kids because white people didn't understand what it was to be black. If the child was adopted into a white family, they'd lose their black heritage. Still don't know what the hell that is. But she was really against it. And I remember calling in saying, well, it's kind of dumb for this to be that way. And I said, and there are a lot of people that are back then that were mixed race. I am of, African American and Cherokee mixed heritage, and I can prove it all. And she said, no, you can't be. I'm like, I can't be what? You can't be both. You've got to choose. I said, what? I have to choose? Choose what? You want me to throw out half my family? That's not a choice one can make. It's idiocy. But these are the kinds of people that perpetuate all this stuff that's, Black Lives Matter, the KKK, the skinheads, the new Black Panther Party. They're all leftist organizations designed to do one thing and one thing only, to foment racial hatred and division. That's it. There's no unity behind any of that crap. And that is the other thing behind a lot of these modern day, beauty contests and other types of contests and award ceremonies that label people. You got the BET Black Entertainment Awards. You got to be black in order to win a BET award, right? Why? Black people aren't entertained by white people or Latinos, and you got the Latino music awards and Latino Actors Guild awards and all these type of. But there's not a single white person awards. Oh, but that's the Oscars, Rod. The Oscars are all white. Do black people and Latinos, have they ever won Oscars? Well, yeah, but nothing. Then they're not white awards. Has a white person ever won a Black Entertainment Award? Well, no. Well, there you go. This is ludicrous. It's nonsensical. It's just plain stupid. When are we going to get? You want to know when we're going to get over racial issues and racial division? I'll tell you when we'll get over that stuff. We're not going to get over it anytime soon, but I'll tell you when we're going to get over it. We'll get over it when there's no more Democratic Liberal Party. That's when we'll get over it.
Hello, America. It's me, your history. I remember a time when we thumbed our nose in a king's face, sent him packing. And when fascists and emperors talked a little bit too loud, we showed up, tore their cities to the ground, and then rebuilt them just to prove we could. We put men on the moon, we won a Cold War, and we elected fearless leaders who led fearless people. What the hell happened to you, America? Back in my day, we didn't elect a big-eared community organizer. We punched him in the kidney. Maybe it's time you came home, America. Home where you belong.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar. Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar. And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
Call Rod now. 603-835-3226. Lines are open.
603-835-3226. Yes, indeed. That is a number that you can utilize to call the program this morning. And every morning, Monday through Friday, we are live here on the Rod Eccles Show, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Now, Eastern Time really means Eastern Time. It doesn't matter whatever the Eastern Time is. It could be Daylight Savings Time or Eastern Standard Time. It doesn't really matter. I don't like all this flipping of the clocks forward and backwards an hour every spring and fall, but you know, it's what we do. So I follow along. I'm not going to try to stay again it. By the way, you know, the Eastern Time goes from, you know, Maine down to Florida, and it goes over towards the Well, not all the way over to the Mississippi, because Wisconsin is in the central time zone, but northern Michigan is in the eastern time zone. Well, mostly because the lower half of Michigan is in the eastern time zone, and so it's kind of I guess it'd be kind of difficult to have a state that's in two different time zones. But some states are split in half with time zone. I don't understand how they came up with it. I mean, to a degree, I do, because they have, the longitude and latitude type of stuff, and how the Earth spins. But if you look at the time zone, sometimes a time zone map doesn't make any sense at all. None whatsoever, as far as the actual sun is concerned, and rotation and everything. Speaking of Florida, by the way, guess who's getting a Floridian college degree? He's getting a degree they're getting a degree from Florida Memorial University in aeronautical science, a bachelor's degree. Now. When I first saw this, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a piece from The Onion at first, and I thought it was a very poor joke if it was from The Onion or anything like that. Some fake news, site. We used to call them satire sites. I guess they're called now fake news sites like The Onion. But it's not fake. It's not faux news. It's real news, and this is out of News 4 in Jacksonville, news4jax.com. And I guess it was reported via CNN. Trayvon Martin is getting a posthumous bachelor's degree in aeronautical science from Florida Memorial University. Now his parents, Sabrina Fulton and Tracy Martin, will accept the degree on his behalf during the school's commencement May 13th. Now, Fulton is an alumnus of the school, historically black university in Miami Gardens, Florida. The aeronautics degree is in honor of the steps he took during his young life towards becoming a pilot. The school. What steps did he take in order to become a pilot? When did we hear any of this about him becoming a pilot? I didn't. I don't. Well, okay. So there you have it. Trayvon. Anybody else? Who's next? The Gentle Giant? Is he gonna get a humanitarian degree or award now too? Who does this kind of thing, and why? Well, you know why. Because Trayvon Martin was a poor black child cut down in the prime of his life. It's unfair. He could have been a pilot right now. He could be flying pipples all over the world. Hey, you know what? He could be a pilot for Delta or United. Those airlines that are in lots of trouble lately for kicking people off. I don't know if these people don't get off the plane and ask to deplane, if he was the pilot, would Trayvon Martin come out into the cabin and then ground and pound how about that doctor? Would he have been more bloodied if Trayvon Martin was who knows? Maybe Trayvon Martin would have been a cop instead. And or he could have been better yet. He could have been a TSA agent. Yes. Not to speak ill of the dead, but I think that would have been a perfect profession. Trayvon Martin as a TSA agent. Can you see it now?
Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm a leftist elite Hollywood a-hole? If so, good news. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College is now open, featuring such courses as unemployment is not paid vacation. No, Americans don't want to spend $19 for an order of French fries, and the ever popular shut the hell up. Why, just listen to this big-time celebrity endorsement.
I'm not Rosie O'Donnell, and I think this school's offensive, sexist, and racist.
And I think you're a giant a-hole who needs to shut the hell up. Hey, we teach a course in that. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College, where being an a-hole is not a guarantee you'll be an A student.
Thousands of families affected by disasters, like the recent wildfires, urgently need support. you can help the American Red Cross provide warm meals, shelter, and hope to families when they need it most. Please donate today to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today. Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Premature birth is the #1 killer of babies. Those who survive often face birth defects and complications that affect them for life. For hundreds of thousands of families in the United States, this is the hardest thing they will ever have to face. And it's even harder on the baby. March of Dimes is providing education and support to families and funding life-saving research to give every baby a fighting chance. You can help. Do something today. Give them tomorrow at marchofdimes.org/tomorrow.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve. As they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding or a nursing home seems like the only option. We won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at findwwp.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the raid.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
And now, live from the bunkerized studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire, it's Rod Eccles.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Here it is on a Friday. Welcome to Freedom Friday. It is a Friday, May number 5 in the year of our Lord 2017. And every Friday we like to take things a little bit lighter, get the lighter side of politics, pop culture, and all things non-political as well. Call-in number this morning where you can participate is 603-835-3226. And we'll talk about just about anything. We even talk about science, and we'll even talk about Trayvon Martin getting a Bachelor of Science degree in aeronautical science posthumously. I don't, well, whatever. He can have one, I suppose. Why not? Everybody else can get one. As long as everybody else can get one, I'm okay with it. You don't have to go to college in order to get a college degree anymore. You know, actually, college degrees are actually... I'm waiting for somebody to say college degrees are racist. I really am. Don't doubt me and think that they probably won't do that. But in any case, here we go. Hour number 2 here. Yes, we're going to still got to get to some of the weightier stuff like the healthcare thing, healthcare bill. And Dems are losing their freaking minds. They really are. But you know, somebody was asking me, the people have been asking me over the past couple of weeks, you know, Rod, what gives? When are you going to do this? And when are you going to do that? And when are you going to... Well, let me just tell you, we got a lot of things in the works that are coming up this summer. We're adding some things to the program all throughout this month, but there are some other things that have to do with this program and other aspects of Zinc Media and the program that we're working on right now, putting, you know, planning stages, crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, getting the building the websites and things like that. What's coming over the summer, just to give you a heads up, exclusive here on the Rod Eccles Show, the inside scoop of what is happening here at Zinc Media Arts and the Rod Eccles Show. The programming is going to change. Well, it's not going to really change. It's just going to increase for all of you people who love to be smart, who love to be informed, and who love to be entertained. It is the melding of information and entertainment. We call it infotainment, and it is the new way of getting the truth. Yes, the daily forecast videos are coming. One of the things that we have to do is make room for it on rodeccles.net, as well as build the channel for it over at YouTube. And YouTube has got... They've changed their algorithms and the way they do things, so it's not as easy as it used to be just to start over there on YouTube. You got to jump through a few hoops now. So, building that channel as well as a couple of other channels to do other things with over on YouTube. You'll see those coming over the summer into the fall. Now, as I say summer, I mean going into, September and October as well. It's obviously not summer around here in September and October. But, yeah, some places it might still be warm, like Arizona and Texas. It was 95 degrees in McAllen, Texas in late September last year. So, I get back here, go to speak in McAllen, Texas in September. There wasn't a single day I dipped below 95. I was there for 3 days. Above 95 degrees every single day. I get back here and it's in the 50s and 60s, and I'm like freezing my tail off. But in any case, it was more comfortable here, by the way, at 60 degrees than it was in McAllen at 95. Because they got humidity down there, along with that 95 degrees. I've talked about that before. That's unbearable. But we're also going to be doing some exclusive Facebook Live video over. Yeah, we're going to utilize Facebook a little bit, live video, because you can. Can you do live video on Twitter? I think it has to be recorded, right? I don't know. Twitter's not my favorite bag anyway. Twitter's probably the easiest to communicate, but nothing stays around on Twitter. Because just the way Twitter is, nothing stays around. So it's like nearly impossible to actually to do anything that is real and lasting on Twitter. Is just it's like talking. You talk to somebody in person, live and in person, no recording devices, and the conversation's gone once it's done. That's Twitter. So we're not going to be including Twitter in a lot of this stuff, simply just because of the way the platform is. In any Twitter-like platform, like Gab, is very similar to Twitter. But we'll be doing things in other, not just Facebook, but other Facebook-like social media platforms, like MeWe, like there's a Tea Party one too that seems to be growing, and there's a couple of others that we're looking into. So we'll be adding those. We're looking at doing some new programming, and for weekend stuff. Now, if you're into music, and you're into discovering new talent, new art, we're looking to produce a 1 hour weekend program that highlights new artists out there. And we're going to be looking for guest DJs, and basically it's just going to be an hour where there's going to be very little voiceover, very little talking. We'll just find. I happen to like, various kinds of music from independent artists. A lot of this, you hear some of it here as bumpers. So you're gonna some artists, they send me stuff to play as a bumper, and if I like it, I'll put it in the rotation. So they'll be there, So you might hear some full length bumper music, because most of the bumper songs are not, 30 or 45 seconds long. They're full size songs, 3, 4, 5 minutes long. So we're looking to do that as well. It's going to be on Spreaker. We're going to try to build out this Spreaker channel too. Look, it's here. We bought the airtime. Might as well utilize it, right? New Zinc Media Arts channel will be coming, as well as the syndication for this program will be finalized over the summer. And syndication is a lot when you're doing it for real, the right way. It takes a little bit longer than one expected. I didn't expect to run into all the obstacles that I did run into, but we're overcoming those things. There's going to be some added websites. One of them is going to be funny. One of them is going to be news-orientated. We're going to be getting more big-name guests, trying to get them on a weekly basis here on the show. People remember I've had people like Colonel Alan West has been on the program. Sheriff David Clark has been on this program. Mr. Ambassador Bolton has been on the program. I've had, Diamond and Silk have been on the program. A number of different pretty big name people in politics and entertainment have been here on this program. So we're going to try to get more of them back on the program. on a once a week basis. I don't like doing interviews. It's not my style. It's not my thing. I'm not Sean Hannity. But sometimes it's good to get a perspective from important people who are in the know and in the thick of it, get their perspective on things and get some information. Yes, we'll be continuing with things like introducing things like Patriotic Music Mondays, working on something with another gentleman. Hopefully he'll, I won't mention his name on the air, but put a little pressure on him to get involved on a special weekly, or maybe even if it's just once a month, it'd be kind of nice. I think he'd have a very interesting perspective on the subject that I talked to him about this. Hopefully he's a busy guy. I understand what it's like being busy. So hopefully he'll be able to squeeze some time in and we can put this together over the summer. Even if it's just once a month, I think it would behoove and be great for all the listeners. We'll be continuing with intel reports both from Agent 0010 as well as others. I know Agent 0010, he's writing a book. He's getting along on that one, from what I understand. I can't wait till it's finished. Look, writing a good book, it can take a year or two. If you're writing a real good, involved novel. So, yeah, and I'm waiting. I've gotten to read some excerpts of it, and so far I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this a biography or is this fiction? And I'm not into intrigue type of stuff, but it had me wanting to read more. It did. He sent me a sample chapter, and it had me wanting to read more. I'm thinking, damn, man, finish the whole book. I want to see what happens. But no, I've tried the publication business before. Publishing other. Some of the most difficult people to work with on the planet are other authors, because authors don't understand publishing. They don't. And you try to explain it to them, and they're like, "Well, no, that's not how I thought about it. It's not how I want." Well, you know what? Go produce it yourself, then. Print and publish your own. Went through a couple of authors trying to start a publishing side to the business here, and it was more trouble than it was worth. Not saying all authors are this way, but you get a few authors, and it just sort of turns you off when they act that way. But anyway, a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of stuff being planned to expand the program, and that's thanks to all the listeners and followers out there in various social media outlets. Adding them all together, all the different social media outlets, it's not huge, obviously. But, every place that I am, if I add them all together, we're approaching 50,000 followers. It's not bad. Yeah, and I'm not a national figure. And I don't do video yet. So that's not bad. And I haven't really put a push on trying to expand my social media footprint, but we might be doing that later on this summer as well. It's putting a push on to trying to expand, because this is where everything's going. Social media is it. Can't deny it. But so via all the channels that we have, it's not bad. Not bad. In any case, so it is what it is. Having some fun here, trying to move things along, trying to get you more informed, keeping you entertained, because that's the name of the game. I'm not a comedian, and I don't try to write funny stuff. It just happens that way because that's just because these people are. It's just the way it is. Democrats are funny people. They really are. They can't help themselves. Yeah, you have if you watch any of the video from the vote yesterday on the House floor, after the vote was over, if you heard in the background that all the Democrats got together in the corner of the on the House floor and were singing "Na na 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 hey, 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 goodbye. And it was that bad. And yeah, because they actually believe that since the House voted to repeal and replace Obamacare, that it was going to kill people and that voters, the American voter, was going to rebel and put the Democrats back in charge in 2018. I guess they didn't see all the polls, all the internal polling, all the external fake polls that suggest that well over half, a vast majority of American people wanted Obamacare gone. They haven't been right about anything since 2010, which was why they've been losing election after election. Every time they come, they try to do something different. It doesn't work for them. They're just funny. They're too funny. We'll get into that and a whole bunch more coming up. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Rod Eccles Show, the coolest, most politically incorrect, conservative black man on the planet.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Hi, Gordon. What you been up to?
Big things, Fred. I'm a full-time student at bartending college.
Wow. I never had time for a formal education.
Well, I decided to make time, but it's not easy. Bartending college is a 4-week course.
Gee, how far along are you?
Well, let's see. This is Tuesday, the 3rd week. Hey, I'm a junior, and I'm late for a daiquiri lecture. Why don't you join me?
Why not?
Bartending college.
You've already spent enough time on the other side of the bar to qualify for enrollment.
Bartending college.
We'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll get a starter set of bartenders' jokes like...
So I says to the guy, you can stay, but the cow's gotta go.
Bartending college.
You'll learn how to roll drunks, water the liquor, and skim the cash register. And remember, as the bartender, you drink for free.
Last call.
For integrity.
603-835-3226 is the call-in number. A little bit of Latino Cuban music there. Not enough bongos though, so it's not Ricky. Ricky Babaloo. Did you know that in spite of all George Carlin was kind of right when it came to the 7 sinful words you couldn't say on TV. Although now I think it's just down to 2. There are two, because you can say that the two words I think you still can't say on regular network TV are the C word, as it refers to a female, and the F-bomb. I think those are the only two out of the 7. I think I've heard the other 5 on TV before. And not by accident. We're talking scripted programming here. But anyway, according to this story from the independent.co.uk, swearing makes you stronger and increases stamina. They actually did a study on this. Now they've already done studies about people who swear, like in an office setting, in a professional setting. They tend to be more honest than people who don't, which is really kind of odd, considering that the people who tend not to swear tend to be the holy rollers. You know, they're the practicing Jew or the strong Christian or I don't know. Do Islamists swear? I don't know if they do or I don't. They may not. I have no idea. But religious people, strong religious people, you would think that they're honest people, but they don't swear. But then, do you realize that the other day, and this is, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of, and wouldn't you know it that there was one, I don't even remember what I was watching now. I happened to be in the room when there was a commercial on. It wasn't even that late at night either. And it wasn't on a religious thing. I think it was it on AMC maybe? I'm not sure. But there was, I can't even remember who the televangelist preacher was. But they were actually selling, well, they weren't selling it, but they were selling it, but they weren't selling it. They were giving away bottled holy water. Folks, I kid you not. And they had these testimonials on there. Yeah, I couldn't speak before, and then after a week of drinking this holy water, my tongue has been reestablished, and God has done a miracle in my life. There was even a woman, by drinking the holy water, she had $50,000 in debt forgiven. She didn't go bankrupt, evidently, according to her testimony. Yeah, I was drinking this, and I was relieved of my debt. The Lord has just delivered me from $50,000 in debt, and I didn't have to go bankrupt to do it. The holy water. And this televangelist, he gets on there, friend, we're going to send you these bottles of water absolutely free postage and handling. You can decide if you want to give us an offering, but it's free because we want the Lord to bless you with his water. And I'm thinking, you have got to be kidding me. So I guess, well, they don't swear. They're not, they don't, well, some of the people that swear the most are Catholic priests. I played CYO basketball for 2 years in high school. I played 2 years for my high school, and then when I was trying out for the varsity team, me and a couple of other guys we'll admit it, we were good, but for whatever reason we got cut. So 2 of us went over to play for our local CYA team in St. Rose, Catholic parish. We played in that league. And we both made, for 2 years in a row, we both made all-county and all-state CYA teams. And so we were that good. I could shoot from the outside. I used to be you couldn't stop me. I was a long-distance baller, from downtown. That was due to my dad. My dad was a European professional basketball player for a short period of time. Yeah, he actually took some time off from the military. He took his 45 days. He took a month and a half. He toured with the Greek professional Greek team, and I think it was Greek. Yeah, Greek team, and he actually got to play some professional ball. And I have a cousin who played for the Swedish team, professional recently. He recently retired. But so basketball's in our blood. I was too short to really go pro. Only at 5'9", I guess. I wasn't that good, I suppose, to overcome my lack of height. But I made all county 2 years I played in all state, which is a big deal. But I heard some Catholic priests fire up the old Barbie when it comes to swearing. And some of the stuff that they were cooking, man, Whoa! But, but anyway, so this whole notion that you can, swearing actually makes you stronger. Yeah, I'm not kidding, folks. We'll get into that right after the break. Call Rod now, 666-603-835-3226.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
I'm not Rod Eccles, and I approve this message.
The Independent here, the independent.co.uk has got this report on a study that was done about those who swear, swear like a sailor, I guess is the old term. And they found that it increases, the study found out that swearing makes you stronger and increases your stamina. So the full power of swearing, as is the subheadline, is starting to be discovered. So if you swear like a sailor, good news for anyone who often finds themselves biting their tongue when pushing through the final stages of a workout. Swearing can boost muscle strength and stamina, a study has found. Now people are going to actually take this overboard and go overboard with it. I can hear a profanity-laden gym right now. You go. What is some of the gyms that people, $10 a month, no questions asked, no judgment zones type of whatever. What is Planet Fitness or Fitness Planet and Workout World and some of these smaller elitist style types of workout centers like with Titleist or Titleist boxing or title boxing clubs and these spinning clubs that are I thought spinning was dead, but evidently not here in the Northeast. I mean, there are spinning workout clubs that are opening up left and right. So I guess spinning is still big, and so are things like the boxing types of clubs like the Titleist or Title. We got them here in New Hampshire. Title boxing. There's one in Nashua, Concord, and Manchester. People go into, all they have is these punching bags all over, throughout the entire gym floor area. But anyway, so you're going to hear all these, profane-laden workouts now, I'm sure, because, hey, gives you more stamina, makes you stronger. People are going to, somebody's going to do a study on what is actually the strongest profane word out there. Is it the F-bomb? Somehow I don't think it's going to be the F-bomb. It might be. But it's too easy. I think it's been watered down. So whether you're cycling up a hill and need extra oomph or simply trying to open a tightly closed jar, a good dose of foul language may be what it takes. Psychologists from the University of Kiel, now I have no idea where that is. University of Kiel conducted tests in which some participants were asked to swear before either doing an intense session or an exercise bike or squeezing a device that measures hand grip strength. So they really took this seriously. In both situations, they found that swearing rudely resulted in significant improvements in performance compared with uttering neutral words. How do you swear politely? You swear I don't. So could it be if you're swearing rudely, you're swearing loudly? Is that it? Where lots of people can hear you versus you and only those within your close proximity. You swear kind of. You swear softly, like shit. I mean, can I say that on the air? I just did, so it doesn't matter. Versus if you yell it out. So is it really the word that you're using, or is it the feeling that it connotates because how loud you can be? Because hey, we all know that that those people who are the world's greatest parents are constantly shouting and swearing at their kids, right? You know, you go to any welfare system, welfare bottom here in New Hampshire. We call them welfare bottoms, public assisted housing, Section 8 housing complexes anywhere in New Hampshire. And you will find people who are parenting loudly. I mean, constantly yelling at their kids and swearing at them. So they're the world's greatest parents, obviously, right? Yes. The louder you parent, the better parent that you are. You even hear, if you go to the grocery store on some days, or if you go, some parent is yelling at their children because their children are getting out of line. That kid gets right back in line, right? There's no more issues with the kid because that parent is so damn loud. Perfect parenting there. I mean, I've even heard, I've even seen some parents swear directly at their kids when their kids are misbehaving out in public, and that kid always perks up and behaves for at least 5 minutes, before they go back to being their same bratty self. But hey, perfect. And then the parent just yells at them again. So it's perfect parenting keeps people in line. So if it can keep people, if yelling and swearing at kids can keep them in line for 5-minute intervals, then I can see where it is possible that swearing during a workout loudly and rudely, so everybody in the gym can hear you. You trying to push up that last rep for that 20 pounds. And you're just dropping the F-bomb and saying, holy I'm freaking right. So I can see with it. Yeah, it always works. But the study was a follow-up on a previous research program which found that swearing helps increase tolerance of pain, which may explain why so many of us let out profanities when hurt. Well, I think that might be true, because what's the first thing I don't care how religious you are. If you get hurt, especially if you, like slam your finger or hurt your finger or something because you're doing something stupid or you cut yourself, what's the first thing you do? I don't care how religious you are. You're going to yell, you're going to let out an expletive, probably. An expletive. I do. Especially when you do something stupid, like you bang your finger in the door, so you go, son of a... That's my favorite go-to. I'll admit it. Because people have heard me say it. Bang your knee or something, and you just, you sort of... A lot of times I don't even actually say the word. I just say it just the way you just heard me say it. I stop at the B. Son of a... And that helps me deal with the pain until it subsides about 30 seconds later. But anyway, Dr. Richard Steffens from the University of Kiel, who led both teams, said, we know from our earlier research that swearing makes people more able to tolerate pain. A possible reason for this is that it stimulates the body's sympathetic nervous system. That's the system that makes your heart pound when you are in danger. So, yeah, this is Independent.k also published another story that says, psychologists, this is why I don't like mental health professionals, because these people are just whacked, and that's a double entendre. They are. There is a study out there. Who does this kind of a study? And how do you do this kind of a study? But psychologists say and suggest you should masturbate at work. I kid you not. It is right here in the independent.co.uk. Wow. Well, this goes along with the next story here at Salon.com. Yeah, that faux news outlet. A Catholic Health Association. Can you imagine masturbating at a Catholic hospital? I mean, that's your workplace, right? Okay. Anybody ever see the movie History of the World, the Mel Brooks classic? Yeah, well, we won't get into that. But Catholic Health Association slams Trump's utterly unconscionable health care plan. Sister Carol Keehan condemns Trump Care's major tax cut as deplorable, saying it's going to let people die. I don't even. Can I swear here? Can that make my headache go away from having to deal with these kind of idiotic people? I don't think that works. I try not to swear openly a lot, but good God, some people are just dumb. Sister Carol, I don't care if she is a woman of the cloth. Sister Carol Keehan, the president of the Catholic Health Association, recently shared some strong words for President Trump and his plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. Is she swearing at him? I'm just wondering. She says, and I quote, "This is a bill to move wealth from lowest income Americans to the wealthiest." Now, first of all, if you're poor, you don't have any wealth. So how the hell are the rich taking your money if you don't? Well, what little money that, sister, didn't God say, and I do believe God did say this because it's in the Bible, if you are a poor money manager, if you are a poor manager of assets, then what little you have will be taken from you and given to the man who has much. So in other words, in the Bible, by the way, God basically condones the rich getting richer while the poor getting poor or get poorer because the poor are stupid. Now, I'm not making this up. It's in the Bible. So in other words, people who are foolish with their assets, what little they have will be taken from them because basically they'll just be foolish enough just to hand it over. So it is kind of biblical that the rich get richer, is it not? Well, don't tell these people that. It's right. You can interpret it any way you want, but there's really only one way to interpret it. The man. Remember the tale of the talents. Jesus Christ told the parable of the talents. Do I need to give? I'll give the good sister, Carol Keehan, a little reminder of the story. I'll paraphrase here because I'm not reading directly from the good book, but I'll paraphrase. There were 3 servants. The master went away and he gave each of his servants a talent and to take care of while he was away. And when the master returned, he went to the 3 servants to see what they had done with his talent. He had the first servant and said, "Master, I knew that you were a hard man that reaped where you did not sow," and blah, 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 blah. "So here is your talent. I invested it wisely and well. So it has grown to 3 talents. So here is your talent plus 2 more. Here." And the master said, "Good servant, you did awesome, man. Here, I'm going to make you lord over much of my properties because you're smart." And then he went to the second servant and said, "Lord, I knew that you were a hard taskmaster, so I too invested your talent, and here I return it to you with its twin. So I've made you an extra talent. So here's 1 talent plus your original talent. Well done, my good servant. I will make you master over much of my holdings because you're smart." Then he goes to the third slave, if you will, and he said, "Master, here is your original talent. I knew that you were a hard servant and hard master, and I didn't want to lose any of your money because I knew you'd probably be mad at me. So here, I kept it safe, warm and safe, and here's your talent." And the master said, "You wicked, slothful, lazy, cruel servant. The least you could have did was put it in the damn bank so it could have earned interest. But instead, you kept it under your pillow and it earned nothing? You wicked sloth. Here, I am making you a slave forever and taking this talent that I gave you, and I'm giving it to the guy who just gave me 2 talents plus my original talent. Because he who has much will gain much, and he who has little, even what little he has, will have that taken away because you're an idiot." That's how that works. Yeah, I paraphrased, but that is how the story goes. So she is out there calling Trump's health care proposal utterly unconscionable as she criticized the lack of transparency throughout the Republicans' repeal process. We have no insight, she said. The administration has been, I would say, singular in not being in contact with healthcare providers on almost any issue. Look, they weren't in any contact with healthcare providers on Obamacare either. This is, well, I know this is from Salon. I shouldn't get my blood pressure up. But that, yeah, because, hey, you're poor, and this healthcare law that takes away a healthcare law that didn't work is going to make you even poorer, I guess. What? Hello?
July is National Baked Bean Month. Excuse me. Yes, a month in which we pay tribute to one of America's favorite, most healthful, and nutritious foods. I'm terribly sorry. As I was saying, good Lord, this is terribly embarrassing. I'm so... Whoa, doggy! I guess I'd better wrap this up quick. Basically, Jesus, whoa! Oh, God! Oh, my God!
Baked beans. They're nature's way of saying, for God's sake, open a window. Sorry.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Warning. Listening to the Rod Eccles Show by the Idiot Left may cause outrage, fear, a need for safety pins and or spaces. If you experience any of these symptoms or are allergic to truth, tune in and learn something.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. 603-835-3226 is the call-in number. Glad that you are tuning in. So we have this wonderful Catholic nun at the Catholic Health Association who is criticizing via Salon, the president, By the way, this just in. It's just a rumor, folks. I'm not buying it, but just so you know, I'm keeping you abreast and informed of all this stuff. There's a Capitol Hill rumor, and it's probably started by the leftists. But there's a Capitol Hill rumor claiming that Paul Ryan may resign as Speaker of the House. I don't believe that. I don't think it's going to happen. But in any case. Trump's health care proposal is utterly conscionable, she says. And this is Sister Carol Keehan, Keehan, Keehan. In regards to how other Catholics feel about Trump's health care proposal, Keehan said that bishops have said that this is a very flawed bill, which should not be passed until it's fixed. Well, we got a bill that is law that's even more flawed than that, and people just don't, I don't know. I've heard a bunch of people go down the road and fully explain why Obamacare is not really health insurance and it's not really good health care. That even people who have insurance don't utilize it because it's so damn expensive to use. And really, so I'm not going to go down that. I mean, because I could take an entire 3-hour program to explain to you why Obamacare is terrible. But other people, other talking heads, and politicians have already done that for you. You can go anywhere and get that kind of information because it's true. How bad it is. It's expensive. We were promised that everybody was going to be covered under Obamacare. Everybody's not covered. There are still, 25 million people don't have health insurance coverage? We were promised it was going to save people at least $500 a year. It is costing some families, $4,500 to $5,000 more per year. It was going to be easier access. People are going to get to keep their doctors and keep their hospitals and other healthcare providers. And that turned out to be a lie as well. People are going to, if they had insurance that they liked within the parameters of Obamacare, they were going to get to keep their policy. All the stuff that was legal in Obamacare, they were going to get to keep. People were being dropped left and right. Obamacare said there was going to be more competition. You got some states now that have, if they're lucky, they have one provider. I think Indiana's losing. Indiana just announced that another insurance provider, the last one, is pulling out of most of the counties in India, where 90% of the people in Indiana are not even going to have a single choice healthcare provider. So those people they're not going to be able to live up to the standards of Obamacare's mandate of you having to have health care. They don't have a choice. So you didn't get to keep your doctor. It's not costing less. You don't get to keep your health care plan. It hasn't improved or increased competition. Every aspect or cornerstone that was laid for this law hasn't come, the exact opposite has come to pass. And yet this woman, this nun, is saying that this bill, which is attempting to repeal a lot of this garbage and replace it with something a little bit more functional, whether or not you agree with, I happen to agree the government shouldn't be involved in our health care at all. But whether or not you agree with that, it at least attempts to try to fix the problems that do exist within the current law. Because none of the stuff that they promised us would come true has come true. The exact opposite has come true. And you want to tell me that via Obamacare, poor people haven't gotten more poor? Well, yeah. Well, it's not just the rich getting richer in Obama. No, it's politicians are getting richer off of Obamacare. Just saying.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
When I found out I had atrial fibrillation, a serious but highly treatable heart condition, first thing I thought of was who would take care of my wife and children if anything were to happen to me. My doctor recommended Provactin. I had a lot of questions, so I did some research. It turns out Privactin is the #1 recommended drug for Crohn's disease. I think my doctor's trying to kill me and steal my wife.
Doctors. They'll stop at nothing to get your wife.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially, and so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders. And now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. It's Rod Eccles.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Here it is, hour number 3 here on the Rod Eccles Show on this Friday morning.
Welcome to Freedom Friday.
Yes, hour number 3 on this Freedom Friday edition of the Rod Eccles Show, as we do every Friday. We try to take things a little bit lighter, bring you the lighter side of politics, pop culture, science, and all that other kind of good stuff out there, and bring it to you. You can participate by talking about just about anything under the sun that you want to. 603-835-3226 is the number to do so. And we do that every Friday, as I said. So don't miss out. If there's something you want to talk about, then talk about it. Because that's what we do on Fridays. We slide into the weekend, celebrating more freedom, because as you know, unless you've been living under a rock, then you know that the House has voted to repeal Obamacare. Now, obviously, the president is not going to be signing it into law anytime soon because it still has to be passed in the Senate. And if it's not the House bill that's passed in the Senate, there's got to be a reconciliation between the Senate and the House bills, and then it's got to go back to be voted on in the Senate and the House, and then it gets to it could be another 3 months before it's officially all said and done, and there's still no guarantee. But in any case, the House has voted to give you back some freedom, give you back some of your liberty. That is the absolute truth on that. So, speaking of some things, this is from Twitchy. Huffington. Well, it's not Huffington Post anymore. It's just HuffPo. Shares a site that will mail your ashes to the GOP if you die because of Trump care. What was the first thing that was the first thing that came to mind when I read that? What? When Democrats have a meltdown, oh my goodness, they really have a meltdown. Yesterday, after the House passed the AHCA, which does not repeal Obamacare and has not passed in the Senate or the president's desk, so it's not law yet anyway, as I just stated to you why it's not law. The left totally and completely imploded tweet after tweet about people dying because without Obamacare they won't survive. It was, man, it was all over. I got in on a few of the tweets though, but I got to tell you, if it weren't so ludicrous, it would be roaring ridiculously funny. It was, all this stuff was hilarious. The left was in a total complete, it was kind of like, it was almost as bad as when Trump was actually elected on November 8th. The response to the left was just as hilarious then. I mean, this is almost as funny as that. It's almost as ludicrous as what they were saying back then. The only thing that we didn't have this time was a bunch of newscasters on the air live as they were figuring out and learning that Trump had beat Hillary. So they weren't on the air live this time as the vote was taking place. So we didn't see their countenance change dramatically live. But nonetheless, they have gone off the deep end again. So now there is evidently a website out there that is being established that will mail your ashes to the GOP if Trump Care kills you. Now, I don't know how Trump Care is going to kill you. I don't see where. I mean, they're keeping. Well, yeah, it's just funny. It's funny. So this website says, "Mail me to the GOP. Will you die because of Trump Care?" From the Huffington Post. I'm just. I didn't. Well, there you go. And that's why they were sitting in the background saying, na, 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 hey, goodbye. It was that bad, actually, if you actually heard some of it. But yeah, it's hilarious. So these people actually think that they literally, I don't know where they get this idea from. You know, in this country, we've always, were people dying because of lack of medical care before Obamacare? Have people died from lack of care since Obamacare? So how is it that people are going to die because of Trump Care? And love how they're saying, they're saying it's Trump Care, but I don't think it's really Trump Care or Ryan Care, but any type of government-sponsored product in the healthcare field is not a good idea in the first place. It's going to be more expensive, more complicated than it needs to be, more expensive and more complicated than if it were left up to the free market and left up to people to have choice. See, one of the things that they want to allow people to do is be able to buy healthcare coverage over state lines. You know, you can get any other kind of insurance out there that you want from anywhere in the country, and including some places in the world. So if you don't like the local insurance company in your state, you can, and you live in Massachusetts, you can buy a car insurance policy that meets the Massachusetts requirements over in California if you wanted to. You can't do that with your health insurance, though. You can buy your life insurance in Florida if you live in Minnesota. You can buy your disability policy in Ohio if you live in Texas. But if you live in Indiana, you can't buy a health insurance policy out of Virginia. You're just saying. No, you can't do it. Just can't. Well, but hey, and this is something that this, I think this is one of the provisions that this bill has, would be to open up or give real competition in the health insurance industry and allow you to buy across state lines. Yeah, God forbid you bring down the cost of actually getting insurance and you get better products and service like you do with every other kind of insurance now that you can buy it across state lines, right? Yeah, so, hey, I don't know. Is that an insurance plan? If you die, have your ashes mailed to the GOP? And how many GOP members are going to get? All of them? What happens if they're not in office by the time you die due to Trump care? So if you're a GOP member that has nothing to do with passing Trump care, let's say you get elected for the very first time in 2018 or 2020. Are you gonna be a GOPer that gets somebody's ashes mailed to you because you didn't vote for it, right? I don't know. Could happen, I suppose. Or maybe it won't be. You know what? If maybe people should do this. If you're killed by terrorism in this country, you should have your ashes mailed to Democrats who want to have these people, who want to allow these people to come into this country. Here's something from PJ Media. ISIS to jihadists. Pay attention. This is kind of important, actually, folks. This is if it's going to happen in Europe, like England, for example, it's probably going to make its way across the pond here. But jihadists are told to use fake apartment job Craigslist ads to lure hostages and murder victims. We've already had some of that kind of stuff going on. We call it the Craigslist killer here in New England not too long ago. A number of different things. The Islamic State magazine that has published tutorials on vehicle, knife, and arson attacks as a tool of lone jihadists is now encouraging terrorists to acquire guns at shows and shops and take hostages not for ransom but to create as much carnage and terror as one possibly can. The latest issue of Rumiyah magazine, distributed online in 10 languages, including English, offers another installment of the Just Terror Tactics series, praising lone jihadists, including U.S. terrorists, who have set heroic examples with their operations. The objective of taking hostages would-be jihadists are told is not to hold a large number of the kuffar hostage in order to negotiate one's demands, but to sow terror with the language of force, the language of killing, stabbing, and slitting of throats, and chopping off of heads, and flattening them under trucks, and burning them alive until they give the jihad, the jizya, or tax, while they are in a state of humiliation. So now they're out there telling people so you got to be careful now of look, we've got all these people. Remember the map that I told you about yesterday about all countries like Poland and Romania, and places like Lithuania and a few other Eastern European countries that have let in less than 500, zero to very little to zero refugees, and they are not suffering any attacks, any terrorist attacks. I think 500 people. Lithuania, I think, maybe suffered one, if I remember the map correctly. Again, they've let in less than 1,000 refugees. If they're small, they've only suffered one attack. Poland, none. No refugees, no attacks. Romania, less than 500. And I think they had one attack as well. Or no attacks, actually, less than 5. So these places that are turning, not allowing these people just to walk into their countries willy-nilly like we are, like England did, like France did, like Spain did, like Sweden did, like Germany did, they're suffering big time. And so now we have all these sleepers out there that are now being told, hey, now use that wonderful thing called Craigslist to lure people to their demise. I mean, this is sick. So this is why I'm saying that if you, maybe there should be if there's a website about mailing your ashes to the GOP if you get if you die because of Trump care, which is a bunch of BS. Maybe we should really start sending people's ashes to all the asses in Congress, which happen to be Democrat. If you are killed by a terrorist, a domestic terrorist here in the U.S. of A. They might not even call it a terror attack because, it's going to be homegrown, but still a terrorist, are they not? They are. This is just insanity.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Yes, welcome back. As we continue on, the number of busy broadcast minutes are quickly winding down. Here from USA Today, usatoday.com, refugee admissions plummet under Trump. USA Today analysis finds, yes, indeed, refugee admissions. He can't. I told you people that he could. These judges out there on the left coast are trying to block his ability to ban people from coming in. But hey, their numbers are dwindling. The number of refugees arriving in the United States has dropped sharply this year because of President Trump's threat to bar their entry, even though his order for a total 120-day ban has been blocked twice by federal courts. A USA Today analysis of government figures shows the U.S. accepted 2,070 refugees in March, the lowest monthly total since 2013, according to a State Department data. April ended with 3,300 refugees admitted, the second lowest total since 2013. It's still it's 5,000 too many. Well, yeah. The statements from this administration about refugees are shocking to me, said Kate Baylor of the Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service, which resettled 13,000 refugees in 26 states last year. So we have people in this country that are spreading these people around. 13,000 people in 26 states. They're just sending them everywhere, spreading them around. That's not their job. They should not be doing this. And don't tell me it's the children. You know what? How about we actually fix their country, or we help them fix their own country so they can stay there. So later on, if they want to come here and they meet the criteria for coming here, they can do so without being under duress. You know, it seems to me that people are forgetting. What's his name from CNN when they did the CNN interview with this Syrian refugee? We don't want to come to America. We want to stay in our own home, our own country. Help us set up safe zones where we can stay in our own country. We don't want to come to the United States. We don't. It's not that we hate the United States. We just want the United States to help us to stay in our own homes, in our own land, because we want to stay in our own lands. Just like you want to stay in your own land, we want to stay in our own land. We don't want to come to a new land. And that's not what they were expecting. Look, because everybody wants to come to the United States. Look, I know we always say that everybody wants to come to the U.S. of A. for freedom and opportunity. But the reality is, not everybody wants to come here. You know, they want to stay where they were born, or the land of their ancestors, or their family has, their roots go deep in where they are, in the country that they love. People can be very patriotic of their own homeland. Lithuanians can be very patriotic for Lithuania. Everybody in Lithuania doesn't want to leave Lithuania. In Timbuktu, not everybody in Timbuktu wants to leave Timbuktu. I mean, come on, this is just asinine. But the liberals want to force people to come here. So no wonder some of them are kind of upset and angry when they get here and they want to do some death and destruction type of stuff. Look, I happen to believe that this is the greatest nation on the planet. I'm a little biased because I'm an American. I was born and raised here. There are other people that think, you know what? There are Mexicans that love Mexico so much that they believe Mexico is the greatest nation that ever existed. Outside of me being American, who am I to tell them that they're wrong? If they love the way that their lifestyle and the way that they live, why would I say that they're wrong living that way? If you want to live under Muslim rule and Muslim dictatorship, fine, that's great. That's for you, not for me, and not for probably 99% of the American people wouldn't fall for that or wouldn't go for that. But if you do, great. That's why you got countries like Iran and Pakistan and a few other stands and Abias, like Saudi Arabia. And go live in those places then. So a lot of them don't want to come here, but liberals saying, well, you're a refugee now, you need to come. And they're refugees because of your stupid foreign policy, liberals. This is what Obama has given us. He's destroyed these people's homes, forced them to become refugees, and now he wants them to come here and continue their devastating ways here. Isn't that lovely? Haven't you always wanted to just, be a refugee and go to some other country because you're simply a refugee? Well, no. Well, neither do most refugees. They want to stay in their own land. They want to stay in their hometown. They want to stay in the house. Maybe they were born in the house that they're currently living in. Can't do it if you ship them off to the U.S. of A. we need to do more things to keep people where they are if that's where they want to be. And those people who do want to come here, well, they got to go through the process of being extreme vetted. And we need to make sure as best as we possibly can to make sure that these people are not going to be a risk or a harm to fellow citizens in the future. Trump is doing that, and that's why the left is ticked off.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us,
after this event we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
Bring the rain.
There is a BuzzFeed director. I didn't know BuzzFeed had directors and not just editors. But there is a BuzzFeed director that's in a little bit of hot water from those of us who have brains and who are who stand behind law and order. But the left kind of loves them. But there's a BuzzFeed director that leaked. That show in some leaked screenshots reveal wishing Trump assassination. Yes, and this is from Big League Politics. BuzzFeed, the outlet behind the infamous and absurd Golden Showers dossier, has more than a bit of disdain for President Donald Trump, as proven through these leaked conversations from their private workplace chat. Yeah, now this is pretty sick, folks. Pretty sick. They're out there, theorizing and encouraging the assassination of President Donald J. Trump. Well, it's you could look at some of this stuff, but this guy, I guess, Nick Gillory, is that how you pronounce his name? Guillory. Nick Gillory, I think that's how you pronounce it. But it's not. This is not the first time, obviously, that BuzzFeed employees have talked about or encouraged harm to come to the 45th president of the United States. I'm not. Look, do these people realize that if you assassinate Donald Trump, then Mike Pence becomes president? Now, although Mike Pence is not as brash and as bold as Donald Trump, and Mike Pence is a politician, after all, he was a governor. He is more conservative than Trump. Can you imagine a Pence if he were? He'd carry on with the Trump agenda and make it more conservative, actually. And this is why a lot of people are looking at, look, if the left has got to stop Trump at all cost. Because if Trump gets even half of his agenda done in 4 years, the economy is going to take off, people are going to be happy, their bellies are going to be full with food that they earned, not handed to them in some government program. And that means he's going to get reelected, which means the continued out-of-powerness of the Democratic Party. And if Trump gets reelected for a second term, if he runs, it almost surely means at least 4 years. This is Reagan-Bush all over again. But in this particular case, it could go even further. It could be 16 years of conservatism being in the White House to some degree or another. We could folks, you got to understand how the left is thinking. They understand it. They know. Yeah, they're crazy, they're buffoons, they're idiotic, but the reason why that they're acting out the way they're acting out and being so nut jobbery is because they get it. They fully understand that a successful 4 years of Trump leads to 8 years of Trump, which then leads to at least 4 years of Pence. And if Pence is anything like we think he was when he was governor, that leads to 8 years of Pence, which means that the Democrats are out of the Oval Office for 16 freaking years, nearly 2 decades, which then could lead to a possibility of at least 4 years of another conservative, whoever that might be at the time. There could be a 20-year rule of republicanism here, conservatism. And as long as the GOP at least pretends to actually do their job in the Congress, the Democrats are not going to get the Senate back. And they're not going to get the House back. It could be a 2-decade GOP rule. I don't know, maybe there'll be another party that rises out of the Democrats. We kind of thought that would happen out of the GOP after George W. Bush lost everything in 2008. We thought the GOP had definitely gone off the deep end and was going to be dead and replaced by something. But, hey, they came back. At least some of them found their roots, in the form of the Tea Party, and they came back. So will this happen for the Democrats? You never count on a liberal. Never count them out. Never underestimate them. But at some point, they're going to have to figure it out. We cannot depend or rely on them remaining totally ignorant and stupid forever. I know it's most politicos would have figured out what the Democrats have not figured out. They would have figured it out by now. But at some point, they're going to wise up. Somebody's going to be halfway intelligent that rises through the ranks of the Democrat Party and figure this out and say, look, we've been going at this all wrong. And they'll change. They will. When it suits them, when they find the right people to make it suit their needs, they will change. Until then, they'll just remember, they'll just continue being stupid, blind, deaf, and dumb, sticking their heads in the sand and blame, like Hillary Clinton is out there now blaming, other people and other messes for her law. Guess what? She's not blaming Trump's Russian collusion anymore. No, now it's Comey's fault. Yeah, I lost the election because Comey and his report. I mean, they can never blame themselves. They can never say, Hillary was a wrong candidate. Hillary cheated. Hillary was an idiot. Hillary was a biddy. Hillary was just unqualified. She was incompetent. She was stupid. They can't say any of that. This was Hillary's fault that they lost. Well, and the lamestream media. Really. I mean, American people just didn't fall for it. That's the whole point. And I don't think that they're going to fall for it anytime soon. Just saying. Chicago. Chicago is a war zone, so says ZeroHedge.com. Police suicide rate surges to 60% above the national average. Have you heard this before? In Chicago, I'm afraid to go to Chicago. Is kind of like going to a Middle Eastern country right now. During his early days in the force, 30-year-old rookie Chicago police officer Scott Trace, Tracz, was described by colleagues as an upbeat cop who had always dreamed of becoming a police officer. He was 30 years old when he joined the force. To help people in the city. That is until he sat in a black sports car outside his girlfriend's suburban house late last year, put a gun to his head, and took his own life. Trace had long dreamed of becoming a police officer to help others, but working in the violence-stricken Chicago Lawn District. He came face-to-face with the city's violent crime. The area accounted for 58% of the city's more than 760 murders last year, as well as 228 different shootings. You can't Unfortunately, stories like the one of Officer Scott Trace are becoming all too common on the Chicago police force as officers deal with the psychological side effects of having to go to work every single day in Chicago's war zone. FBI report. Washington Times. FBI report finds officers depolicing as anti-cop hostility becomes the new norm. Study on cop killers show 28% motivated by animus toward police. Others wanted to avoid custody. It is Pew Research Center has a study. 86% police officers surveyed are saying this. 86% of police officers surveyed said deadly encounters have made policing more difficult. 93% say more concerned about their own safety. 76% say more reluctant to use force now, which then could lead to them getting hurt or killed when they hesitate at the wrong time. 75% say interactions are more tense. 72% say that they're reluctant to stop. They're more reluctant to stop suspicious people now. Now, some people may, and this is due to the Ferguson effect, and the Obama Justice Department coming in and reaming them that police department a new one. Look, in other words, when it comes to policing in major cities in the United States, the inmates are now running the insane asylum. Now, sure, there are a rare few bad cops out there, and sure that there's rare few times when a very bad decision was made, but you cannot hold all cops, the vast majority of them who are good people, good, solid professionals doing their jobs in a professional manner who make good decisions on a daily basis. You cannot make them second guess themselves, because it could mean either they get killed, an innocent bystander gets killed, or a criminal victim gets killed, or all the above. And we've got to stop this whole issue of writing law after stupid law after stupid law after stupid law that forces cops to interact with their public, the public that that's sworn to protect, on a negative basis, on a consistent basis. Cops need to be able to interact with people on a more positive basis. And for God's sakes, whenever you have a cop who actually does something that interacts positively with kids, you always get the left that flip out about this kind of stuff. And in some cases, you got some leftist police chief or commander that wants to punish a cop for throwing a football to kids. Those are the kind of cops you want in the street. Those that care, that get involved in the communities that they're policing. But the cops are telling you that it is getting so damn dangerous, and these leftists out there are coming about hating, vocally hating police so much that the cops don't even want to get out of the cruiser anymore. They don't want to interact. They don't know what the hell they're going to run into. This is not how you have a safe society. This is not how you have a law-abiding, law-loving society. This is very dangerous for the rest of us out here who are law-abiding citizens who are trying to live our daily lives peacefully. Yeah, we all bitch and complain, bitch and moan about getting the stupid ticket or being pulled over. I've always railed against being pulled over because you got a tail light out or a headlight out, especially when you're driving through this. At least here in New Hampshire, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a police cruiser with a headlight out. I can't prove that this is the reason, but I do remember seeing one time in the city of Nashua, New Hampshire, a police cruiser with a headlight out had another car pulled over with a headlight out. Now it is highly probable that they could have committed or another traffic offense, or there could have been another reason, but I highly doubt it. I guarantee you they pulled him over because the headlight was out, but the cruiser had a headlight out. Hey, you can't make this stuff up. Look, I've been pulled over because, you have in many of the newer cars, you have two your rear plate has 2 lights above it to illuminate it. I've been pulled over because one of those lights has been out. And the cop claims, well, I couldn't read your plate. Give me a break. Come on. That kind of stuff really ticks off law-abiding citizens. But then again, if the cop, if the officer on the beat is actually following stupid liberal policy, this is what you have to do and what you're supposed to do. Every car that you see with any light out, you pull them over. Well, nobody wants to interact with a cop doing that. Most cops don't want to do that. I mean, some police love being on patrol when they catch people. You know, you ever see those? You hear this stuff from once in a while. Cops pull over people for doing the right thing. Hey, you know why I'm pulling you over, ma'am? No, officer, I don't. Well, I'm pulling you over because you came to a complete stop at that stop sign. And I want to give you this Starbucks gift card, or something. There are some police departments that have that in their budget to do that. I think that's fabulous. That's goodwill. I mean, sure, you're scaring the people half to death by pulling them over in the first place, but afterwards, that's good public PR for police departments to do stuff like that, and they should do more. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do more because now you're finding cops rising tensions within police departments. They're getting scared of if they pull somebody over now for doing something right, is that going to turn into being arrested for doing something wrong? I mean, thank you, liberals.
What if I told you that you could lose weight simply by drinking coffee? Change your coffee, change your life. Our gourmet estate-grown coffee is infused with powerful herbs that help you melt fat and keep you from feeling hungry for 6+ hours. Get results or your money back. Order yours today at skinnycoffeeshop.com. That's skinnycoffeeshop.com. Tea and water also available. skinnycoffeeshop.com.
Have a legal problem and need some serious legal advice? Then you're listening to the wrong podcast.
Any facts we say here are probably wrong, and any analysis of the law should not be followed.
There you go. Reasonable men are here to take a twisted look at the law.
Stack your hay right.
Learn in hand. Best name in law school.
Check us out on iTunes, reasonablemen.com, or on your favorite podcast app.
Reasonable men are back.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
There are a lot of taxes that the GOP bill in the House is going to eliminate if this ever gets to the point of passing the Senate and being signed by the president. But basically, what some of the taxes that are being repealed in the American Health Care Act, H.R. Bill 1628. Abolishes the Obamacare employer mandate tax. Together with the repeal of the individual mandate tax repeal, this is a $270 billion tax cut. Abolishes the Obamacare medicine cabinet tax, which hits 20 million Americans with health savings accounts and 30 million Americans with flexible spending accounts. That's a $6 billion tax cut. Abolishes the Obamacare flexible spending account tax, abolishes the Obamacare chronic care tax on 10 million Americans with high out-of-pocket medical expenses. Why? Some of these taxes, and I didn't even know some of these taxes were in here. The Obamacare's HSA withdrawal tax, $100 million tax cut there. Obamacare's 10% excise tax on small businesses with indoor tanning services. You get taxed to go get a tan. Obamacare's health insurance tax. It gets abolished. It abolishes the Obamacare 3.8% surtax on investment income. Abolishes the Obamacare medical devices tax. Abolishes the Obamacare tax on prescription medicine. You know that there was I thought it was supposed to make things more affordable. There was a tax on your prescription meds, man. Abolishes the Obamacare tax on retiree prescription drug coverage. Yeah. Retirees were paying a tax. Can you believe all these taxes? And so many more. And somebody wants to tell, what is it? Keehan, Sister Keehan, wants to say that this repeal is going to take more money out of the pockets of the poor and give it to the. Look at all those taxes that are being saved by the poor, or they will save. Seriously, I mean, it's just. It seems like the Democrats through Obamacare are taxing the hell out of the poor. Well, guess who's getting that money? Well, yeah, the government gets the money to spend it. So that's why I say it's enriching the politicians. Like, if private citizens can't get rich, it has to be the government is the one that has to get rich. By the way, 20 Republicans bucked their party and voted against the health care overhaul on Thursday. And there are people with a list of this stuff all over the place. You can check that out in any case. So all those taxes are being eliminated. Well, will be eliminated if this gets through the Senate and signed by President Trump, which all indications is that he will do such a thing. Well, we still have a bunch of stuff here in the paper pile, but unfortunately that sound means we're out of time, so we're not going to be able to get to it today. But we will be back here on Monday, bright and early, same time, same channel. Should say same Rod time, same Rod channel, Eastern time. Until then, have a great Friday afternoon and a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your freedom, because it seems like we're gaining on it, folks. We're gaining it back. Hallelujah. Viva la Trump. I'm Rod Eccles. Thanks for listening. See you on Monday. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For a Clinton, what's loaded in some fat apple file? A Clinton plays a victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.